For the last 7 years, students and alumni of Richmond Public Schools have been working hard to provide environmental education and opportunity through Groundwork RVA. Rob Jones, Executive Director of Groundwork RVA, and Yaya, a youth member of their Green Team, join us this morning to share more about the work they do and their fundraising initiatives. Hello, team.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. So excited to be with you. I don't know if you know this about me, but I once ran an environmental conference and have done lots of work in event sustainability. So I know how important the work you do is, but I want to make sure you have a chance to explain Groundwork RVA and what you have done previously and will do in the future. So Rob, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Groundwork RVA has been around, as you said, for about 7 years. And we are the sort of quintessential hands-on environmental organization. We do work with Richmond Public Schools students, and they have the chance to really dig in their own communities to do projects that make them better. So it's a combination of skill-based and leadership development. Yaya, whose real name is Kiata Johnson, is a prime example. Do you want to tell a little bit of some of the things that you've done at Groundwork?
I did a lot with Groundwork. We planted gardens. We helped fix up old people's houses because they wasn't able to do it themselves. I went to Yellowstone National Park. I have took care of my own plants. And it really taught me how to have like patience for the plants because I wasn't really an outdoors person. So,
and that's a real piece, is that we're not just like a go outside group, we're a go out and do group. So that at the end of experiences, the young folks who were working with us have a sense of, I built that, I did that. That change happened because my hands were in the work.
Right. And with that said, you have actually been featured in the New York Times with some of the work that you've been doing and the research that is so critical, especially in urban communities. Tell us about that article and what you have found out.
So this is work that we've been doing as an organization around the urban heat islands, and it's been in partnership with the Science Museum of Virginia and other folks. Basically, the nutshell is cities are hotter than rural areas, but inside cities, that heat doesn't show up in the same ways. So that in communities that have typically been underserved, are public housing communities, other places where resources and investment haven't gone, those neighborhoods are hotter. And we're making connections from back to redlining when investments weren't going into communities directly to the number of hot days and the impacts on people's health, right? So especially now when we're looking at COVID-19 at a time where respiratory illness is such an underlying factor for folks getting sick in Black and brown communities, this heat index piece is very important. And that's what the article in the Times is talking about.
That's so interesting. And the work that you do really requires a partnership throughout the city in order to make it happen. What partnerships have you developed to make this organization work long term?
Well, it's interesting. We started, I think you heard Yaya talk about having gone to Yellowstone. We started as a result of a partnership with the National Park Service, which has been a really strong partner as we've built the organization. That lets us take the young folks out of the city nationally. In the city, we've got partnerships with the Parks Department, with the City of Richmond, with the Department of Public Utilities, with Richmond Public Schools, a deep and long connection, to make sure that young folks really do get access to a wide variety of experiences. So again, I mean, I want to, part of what's important for us is youth voice. Our partnership with the Science Museum won this year's Metropolitan Business League Partnership Award. And so it was as a result of this work that we're talking about on urban heat islands, but also, the trash can lid that you did about Black girls in space, that's what turned the tide. Do you want to say a little bit about that?
Okay. So my thought about the trash can topper was an alien face with 2 puff balls. So basically she was like in outer space, because I really like aliens and their own little different like way, they have a different way of doing things. So every time I like would do an idea, is going to be like about an alien or something like that. So that was where my design had came from.
Yeah, and this is a program where we're using the equipment at the Science Museum. The young folks are coming up with their own ideas with this notion that if you pull trash out of the system, it doesn't go in the river. And so the young folks built these things, and not only did they design the toppers, but they built the trash cans and then placed them in community. So Yaya, as you see on her, right, Queen Yaya did the Queen of Space.
Yeah.
And her line that really was moving for folks was Black girls go into space too. Right.
And I want to make sure that we have a chance to talk a little bit about the fundraising that you do in order to fund programs like this that are so pivotal in our community. So right now we're in the middle of Fund Black Futures in Green with a big goal, and we've got about 30 seconds. I want to make sure that we go over all the ways that we can assist you in this effort.
All right. So Yaya is one of many young folks that we work with. We work with young folks on the green workforce side as well who are out of school. And Fund Black Futures in Green is all about making sure that these young folks have what they need. So if you go to our website, groundworkrva.org, there's a donate button. We are looking to raise $50,000. A truck is important to be able to get folks back and forth, putting the bus together on the street, getting tools and boots and uniforms for these young folks to be seen and recognized in community. That I built this shows up when they have the equipment that they need. We're also on Facebook, the hashtag, well, on Instagram, the hashtag is #Fund Black Futures in Green, because these young folks deserve to have futures, and they deserve to have futures in green, which is something that they've chosen. A lot of young folks, as you know, right, they don't want to be outside, but these young folks do. And they show up on a regular basis, and they're making their communities better. So we're really looking forward to support for Fund Black Futures in Green.
Absolutely. And it's so important for each one of us to play a role in the future of our environment. And if in no other way than being able to donate and support an organization like Groundwork RVA, it truly is critical. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of you who'd like to learn more about Groundwork RVA, we encourage you to go to our website, WTVR.com/VTM.